in his speech at Berkeley, which you can see on this website and listen to, describes that process. He said most people are not happy anyway. Well, he should know, because he was part of a ruling elite at his day and age, and he was descended from families who specialized in creating the kind of societies they lived in. They created the fear, the terror, the poverty, the worry, the unnaturalness of it all. So it's sure, you could say quite confidently, most people were unhappy because they were living in an unnatural lifestyle. They actually lived in a fixed type of economy in Britain and in other parts of Europe, where it was so well perfected with the moneyed system and the governing system that, and through census taking, they knew what everybody earned pretty well on average. They knew how much you needed to live and pay rent, and most people paid rent in those days, back in the 60s and 70s in Britain and in most parts of Europe. They knew how much it would cost to feed and keep a family of perhaps two at the most. And the people just couldn't get ahead at all. And credit was not thrown at them like the credit cards are thrown at people today. So people scurried and worried about basic things, for the necessities of life. Not so long ago, that was their main worry. The necessities. Now they fret over things they want but don't really need, because they've been taught to reward themselves at the end of every month. That's your reward for going through your boring life. Train like animals, you see. So getting back to the question of what is reality? What should reality be? What defines a reality? And before you can even start that journey, you truly have to reflect upon all of those things that's happened in your own life, your own experiences. And I mean critically. You can't whitewash events in your own life where you haven't been too proud of what you've done, said, whatever, because we affect everyone around us as we go through life. Everyone does. The odd little statement just at stopping at a store in a hurry and not saying hello one particular day to someone can have consequences upon them, because maybe they needed that little hello that particular day. And yet we can't go neurotically through life worrying about it all the time, but it's amazing how many people would do affect on a daily basis. This doesn't mean we have to go through life and pamper people as well to keep the peace. The truth must always be said. Otherwise, someone is controlling someone else. And people shouldn't be offended with differences of opinion. And people should neither be dogmatic about it either, because that's down to a battle of wills then, of ego. And people who have to be right rather than seek truth are not after truth at all, obviously. The journey for personal meaning can be a long one, and it's ongoing. And every time you come to one understanding, you realize there's more to go. It's like getting to the top of a mountain, only to see a higher one beyond it. And sometimes you go into those valleys and you say, my God, nothing's happening. I'm static. My mind isn't working properly. Nothing's coming to me. But in reality, you're dissecting all the knowledge you've acquired up until that point. And you have to truly savor it minutely. And when that's done, suddenly you're up, going up the tracks to the next mountain. That's how it happens. And it does not mean that every experience that you have is going to be the same for everyone else. And neither could you ever promise that to them, because many people cannot go where you have gone. Andrew Lloyd Webber, perhaps unknowingly, wrote a song for Evita, the musical. And in the song, he's really describing where people are. The people that you think are confident around you, who seem to have it all, because people pretend in life, they don't want to admit they're hurting at all. We put on a facade to people. And because we can't be real to people, then we don't get anywhere in the changes that must be made. We allow those who seem confident to rule over those who are not quite sure. And then you end up always in tyranny, because psychopaths take over.